Hi, my name's John Allies, um, and I'm starting this vlog about my ankle fusion surgery that I've just had. Because when I was looking online for similar situations, I couldn't really find anybody who had similar things to me. All I could find were American health clinic adverts where people seem to be able to do more after the operation than they could before. So I was a little bit short of information, and therefore I thought, after deciding to go ahead with the ankle fusion, I'd do this on a day-to-day basis so that people could, if they wanted to, just follow me and understand the procedure and hopefully my recovery program. So, John Allies, I'm 59. I consider myself pretty fit. Used to play basketball quite seriously, and that's probably the reason for the injury, but that's a long story. Football, circuit training, more latterly long distance walking, and I'm primarily cycling. So I'm part of a cycling club, and I'm usually doing 200 plus road miles a week, and some mountain biking as well. Really enjoy it, love it, love the exercise, love getting out, love the camaraderie and social aspects of it. So in playing basketball, I used to go over on my ankles all the time, but I never broke them. And I think that caused my tendons to stretch massively. And then through age and activity, they've deteriorated. And as a consequence, my leg bone, tibia and fibula, join my ankle at an angle. So rather than fitting like that, they fit like that. I've got an X-ray that hopefully I'll be able to get on the vlog somewhere. Now, that's causing me some pain, but to be honest, less pain than I think most people have who have this operation. I walk with a limp. It affects my cycling slightly, not an awful lot. I'd probably say, I'm still cycling 9 out of 10. But when I walk, so I used to be able to walk 10, 15 miles over any terrain with no problem. Now, if I do 5 miles over difficult terrain or even semi-difficult terrain, I'm really struggling. It's sore, I feel very, very unstable, and I'm just not enjoying it. So as my partner's a keen walker, I want to be able to get to somewhere near that at least. My surgeon said that I've had a specific trauma that's caused this injury. I honestly don't remember that, and you'd think you would do. I've never had a really bad sprain. I've had lots of sprains, most of them sort of 30 years ago, but several since, and with no real, no catastrophic events as a result. So anyway, I had to make a really, really big decision because it's not killing me. It's not keeping me awake at night, but it is affecting my life. So I decided to go and have surgery, and luckily for me, I managed to get an operation booked in for the 5th of January 2020, which was a day the UK went into lockdown 3. So although very worried that I wouldn't be able to actually go ahead with the operation once I'd decided, I was really keen because I thought, if I'm going to be 3, 4, 5 months in plaster, what better time to do it when you can't do anything anyway? So I was really keen for it to go ahead. I had a COVID, so operation day was Tuesday. On the Saturday, I had a drive-through COVID test. Didn't hear anything, so I went in on Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m, wherein I had 2 more COVID tests, a PCR and a lateral flow. Obviously, both turned out negative because went in at 7:30, and at 12:45, I went into the anaesthetist room. So, lay down, quite jovial. Oh, you haven't brought a vein with you, but quite jovial, nice guys. Obviously, put a cannula in my left hand, put a mask on me, telling me that it was oxygen and I should breathe in heavily and slowly, which I did. Didn't feel anything, couldn't smell anything. Next thing I knew, I woke up in my bed in the ward. So I had no fuzziness, I had no going off. I just went. So that was at 1:45, say 1 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. I believe that I got back onto the ward at around about 5 p.m. I think the operation is about an hour and a half. I probably went into a recovery room, but I don't really know. But I woke up in my bed on the ward, feeling okay. Leg in plaster. I've got a back slab, which is like a half full plaster cast. There's a gap at the front which they bandage around. I think it allows it to expand with the swelling. So I woke up, didn't feel particularly nauseous, a little bit woozy, but came round, was able to text, and no pain really. Foot elevated, toes, I could just see my toes, they were poking out. Slept fleetingly that night, mainly because I'm not, no one's used to sleeping on their back. But my foot was throbbing. I wouldn't say it was painful, but it was throbbing, and my toes were numb. And I was very aware of that. And with your leg up, it's a very unusual position to sleep in, of which I found subsequently. Anyway, it didn't cause me any problem. The nurse woke me up a couple of times to give me antibiotics. I had maybe 3 or 4 injections of antibiotics into the cannula, so not using, I was already wired up for that. I had ibuprofen and paracetamol, I think. Actually, when I woke up, they asked me if I wanted anything for pain, and I guess belt and braces, I said yes. And they gave me a couple of oral liquids, which I think were morphine based, and they obviously did their job because I didn't feel any pain. So because of COVID, unfortunately, my surgeon had been in a COVID ward all day on the Wednesday, which is the day after my operation, and therefore couldn't come into my ward, which was a green ward, COVID-free, to speak to me. So I didn't see my surgeon before I was discharged at about 5 p.m. on the Wednesday afternoon. The only thing I was waiting for really was the pharmacy to deliver the drugs, which were mainly painkillers. I think I've got some codeine, which I've not really used because I know they make you constipated. I broke my ribs 9 months ago, and codeine worried me to death because constipation and broken ribs didn't feel like a good combination. So I kept off the codeine. The paracetamol and ibuprofen were fine. They also gave me a month's supply, so 28 self-administered anticoagulant injections to give myself, which is the first time I've done that. And I must admit, I was a bit, I'm not too sure about that. I've done 3 now. They made me do the first one when I was in hospital. I hardly felt anything, to be quite honest. So I've done 3 now. It's not ideal, but that's okay. It's a minor issue. So I came back on the Wednesday night. I was obviously still distracted. I'm a big Man United fan. United were playing City in the Cup semi-final. Started at 7:45, sat down to watch it with my leg up, elevated. 15 minutes in, I just couldn't concentrate and went to bed. So I wasn't ill, I wasn't poorly, I wasn't in pain particularly. Bit of throbbing, but I just couldn't concentrate. I went to bed, and lying on your back with your foot on 2 pillows is not conducive to sleep. That first night at home, so Wednesday night, I really didn't sleep very much at all. Came down early in the morning, which is normal for me. Got on the settee, and I must have felt more comfortable because I nodded off on the settee 2 or 3 hours. So that would have been the Thursday. Thursday night, I slept a little better in bed, but okay. But no pain during the day on Thursday. Wasn't able to work, didn't feel up to work. Slept okay on Thursday, same Friday. It's now Saturday midday. I've got no pain. I feel okay. I'm eating, gone to the loo. Everything's fine with the operation as far as I can see. I guess one thing I didn't think I'd have such a problem with is crutches. Crutches aren't easy. And I've got 6 flights of stairs in my house, which I hadn't really considered. That makes it quite tricky. So I'm trying to be fairly stable on one level. Coming downstairs is okay. Um, Going upstairs is physically quite tiring. And otherwise, just getting around, getting up and moving around is just a pain. Everything takes too long. You make a cup of tea in the morning and you can't get your cup of tea over to where you want to sit. So you have to stand and drink your cup of tea. So it's not a big issue. But, it's one of the things that I hadn't considered. I think that's about it. I'll try and put my X-ray on this vlog or in an associated file so you can see the state of the injury. So it happened on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm now 4 days in, no pain, no discomfort. I'm probably, if sleeping perfectly was 10 out of 10, I'm probably 6 at the moment, but I'm gonna improve on that. And everything's looking quite good. I've got appointments. An appointment came through yesterday for me to go for my 2-week checkup, which is exactly 2 weeks to the day from my operation. So that's a week on Monday. I probably won't do a vlog before that. I might do if anything happens, but I believe that on that one, they'll look at the wound, they'll X-ray the injury, and I might get a full cast then for the ensuing 6 to 10 weeks. But I'll report again then. I really hope it's been useful. It's not meant to be depressing. I think I've said a lot of the negative things. It's actually not too bad. Not too bad at all so far. Okay, cheers now.